The Foreign Minister will touch down in Fiji today to determine whether the military regime's committed to restoring democracy. Senator Bob Carr and ministers from 5 other Pacific nations are there to talk to politicians, unions and civic groups ahead of elections planned for 2014. And ABC correspondent Dominique Schwartz is in Fiji and joins me on the line now. Dominique, what's Fiji done, if anything, to change the political climate amongst its Pacific neighbours?
Yes, hello. I suppose one of the big things that happened early this year was the lifting of the public emergency regulations. Now, these were orders which basically meant that people could not gather without a permit. There was no real freedom of speech under those emergency measures. It allowed the government to do whatever it wanted in a bid to try and keep public order. Their removal had been called for a long time. So that was a big thing, although detractors here say that while the government has actually taken away those measures, they then turned around and introduced another public order decree which basically brings back a lot of those measures under a different guise, a lot of smoke and mirrors, according to Frank Bainimarama's detractors. However, I spoke with Murray McCully, the Foreign Minister for New Zealand, who is among the ministers who will be holding a round of meetings tomorrow, when he touched down in Suva a short while ago, and he said that he was optimistic about what they would find.
I think the fact that we're here is a cause for optimism, and as I say, I'm very pleased that we've been able to arrange for the meeting to occur. It's been quite a gap since we've formally come here, so I'm hoping that we'll be able to have some very constructive discussions.
So how big a priority is Fiji for Australia's Foreign Minister Bob Carr?
Well, I think it's quite interesting that Bob Carr has put Fiji on the agenda so early in his term as Foreign Minister. You'll recall that his first visit as Foreign Minister, in fact he hadn't even been sworn in yet, was to New Zealand, and he spoke with Murray McCully, the New Zealand Foreign Minister. Now, New Zealand has been keeping quite a close eye on Fiji, and New Zealand and Australia discuss Fiji quite often, obviously, and they tend to move in lockstep in their approach to Fiji and the situation there. They both have sanctions against Fiji. So he raised that with Murray McCully. He's then been in the United States and has spoken about it with Senator Clinton. And now, of course, we see he's coming to Fiji. Now, this is the first meeting of this Pacific Islands Forum Ministerial Contact Group in 3 years in Fiji. So I think it signifies that it is seen as something of a priority for Senator Bob Carr.
And Fiji's interim Prime Minister, Commodore Bainimarama, is out of the country. Briefly, can you tell me, is that having any effect on the Ministerial Action Group's agenda while in Suva?
This is very much a foreign minister to foreign minister type of a meeting. Obviously, one would have thought that if they could get to meet the interim Prime Minister, Frank Bainimarama, that would be good. Commodore Bainimarama is in India on official business and he won't be here. Murray McCully why the dates had been chosen and why it seemed to be rushed for this particular time when Commodore Bainimarama was not in the country, and he just said it was a case of trying to get 6 different ministers and another country all together on the same sort of schedule. It would always pose difficulties, and he didn't think that that would create any problems at all. They will be meeting the acting Prime Minister, who is the Attorney General, a leading figure in the regime. So he says it won't make any difference whatsoever.
Dominique Schwartz in Fiji, thank you.